I realized that I kind of skipped part 3. Part 3, of course, is setting your router ID assignments. That would be this here, changing your router ID assignments. Now, um, as with EIGRP, there's an order of precedence to how the router determines what its router ID is. Um, so we're kind of approaching this backwards in a sense, because the last option in terms of order of precedence is a physical interface on the highest available IP address of a physical interface. So, for example, if you have physical interfaces, one in Class A, one in Class B, one in Class C, the Class C interface with absent all the other possibilities would become the router ID. Um, you can also set a loopback address, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to set the loopbacks and watch the router IDs change, and then we're going to do it correctly, so to speak, by setting the router ID. Now, one thing to note when we start talking about IPv6 OSPF v3, without a stated router ID of some kind, or a loopback address or an IPv4 interface which can be used for said router ID, the IPv6 OSPF process won't even start. The other big difference between IPv4 and IPv6 OSPF, which is to say OSPF v2 versus OSPF v3, is that with OSPF v3, you have to turn it on deliberately. Turn on the process with a no shutdown command in the router interface router interface configuration itself in global config mode, almost like you're turning on an interface. The other difference, so in sum, there are lots of differences between the way we work with OSPF v3 for IPv6 and the way we work with OSPF v2 for IPv4. One of the other big differences is that you actually add the interfaces and not the networks to the process. But let me get started. Let me get into router 1, find my global config mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a loopback. Interface loopback 0. IP address 1.1.1.1 space 255.255.255.255. Enter. Now, this is a loopback, so you don't have to use the no shutdown command. A loopback address, because it's a loopback interface, because it's a logical interface, is always up. You can turn it off, but you don't ever have to turn it on. So, now, in order for me to make this thing take effect, this change take effect. Now, so let me show you how that it is not taken effect yet. Do show IP protocol. So, my router ID is still 13.1. It's not what I want. There are two ways to do this. One, you can reboot the device. Two, you can clear the process. So let me reboot the device. So this is going to take a minute. So while this is thinking, I'm going to do the others. Notice that by doing that, I brought that interface down. I would also see these adjacency changes on router 3 as well. Now, so let me show you that it is working. Do show. See, I hear from router 3 with its IP address 23.2, its highest available IP address 23.2, and I hear from router 1 with its router ID. I did this by rebooting router 1. Now I can do the same thing this way. I need to end to get back into enable mode. privilege exec mode, I can do clear IP OSPF process. Yes, it'll reset these processes. What this does is it shuts everything down, then regenerates everything. Obviously, it goes very fast. So now I'm hearing from. Did I do this wrong? Interesting. Let me see about this. Okay. So my router ID has not taken effect. Interesting. Um, so my loopback is there. My loopback should have won this. Let me clear that process again. Yes. So these neighbor relationships are dropping and coming back up. Let me do this the hard way. Okay. Okay, and now, okay. So that did require a hard reload. I've changed my values for router 3. I need to end, copy, run, start, reload. Yes. So what this will do, it'll break the adjacencies between 3 and 2, between 3 and 1 and 2, respectively. It will regenerate these. And now, while this is working, I can set my router IDs. Notice it is now hearing from 3.3.3.3. So what I can do is router ID 11.11.11, no, 11.11.11. Bam. Router dash ID. There. So now I have to clear the process. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I think I'm just going to set all this up and watch it reconverge at once. End clear IP OSPF process. Yes. Okay. End clear IP OSPF. Okay. The good news is by interrupting it, I can't really hurt anything by interrupting it. Clear IP OSPF process. Yes. Okay, so I hear from 11.11. I've reloaded. I've got Let me see. Let's see. So I'm here. So router 3 has not. I haven't cleared the OSPF process on router 3, so it's still using its loopback address. If I really wanted to have fun with this, I could have used one physical, one loopback, one router ID to show you how this this can get. You can do this many different ways. Ideally, you set the router ID. So let me clear IP OSPF process. Yes. So it will come down, it will drop, reload. Now, this is going very quickly because it's just reloading that one process. If you go into the back end of this thing, under the hood, you'll find that the executable is one binary file, but it is running many, many processes. So it doesn't have to reload the entire OS. It just has to restart that one process and reconverge, and everything is happy again. So this is changing and setting your router ID either with a loopback or with a stated router ID. Thanks for watching.